welcome to Mines 50. I've been trying to get a personal best time in this category for a couple of years now, and I decided to run it off stream. And I'm going to explain what's going on during the video, but I'm still kind of in shock that this all happened. So we start the run by sleeping to day 5. You'll notice I'm picking up my TV and I'm dropping it next to my bed so that I can save a couple of frames on day 5 in the mines. We are going to be checking the luck on day 5. We actually go out here on a neutral day. Typically you'll want to go out on a pyramid or a star drop day, but I've noticed that the neutral days sometimes have good luck as well, so I thought, what the heck, let's go out and see what happens with this. So then you make your way to the mines. You can only go to the mines as of day 5, as that's when they open. And then along the way, you want to collect any forage. You'll notice that my scythe comes out as I'm picking up the forageables. So we do that to save a couple of frames as well. And ideally, as you're coming through here, you don't want to pick up anything that's out of the way. So you'll notice there is one leek that I go a little out of the way for. A leek is worth it usually, a horseradish not so much. So then we make our way to the mines. When we get inside the mines, we're gonna do F, and that just skips that animation of getting the sword to be able to use in the mines. You'll also notice me replacing my tools. I like to put my sword on 1 and my pick on 2. So I do that so that I can quickly toggle using my number keys as I'm coming down in the mines here. You'll also notice I'm swinging my pickaxe quite quickly. So I'm using what's called animation canceling. So essentially we have a script that we run, but you still need to perform the animation. You still have to perform the action after every swing. So I've rebound 3 keys to my spacebar. So every time I swing, I do spacebar, and that just makes things a little bit quicker. But you will notice that things are a little bit quicker here. In speedrunning, there's 2 categories. There's a glitchless and there's a vanilla category. The vanilla category, you don't need to do the tech that I'm currently using. It is something that the developer put in the game that he kept, but mostly just speedrunners use it. That doesn't mean that you wouldn't be able to use it in a casual play. I used to play vanilla, and over the years and speedrunning, I ended up having to use it because once you start using animation canceling, you don't really go back. So really important thing, you guys, I skipped over, but I did reset level 5. The reason why is because on the current patch 1.6, there is a club that's in a guaranteed spot on that floor. So we did reset once. If we would have had to reset more than that, I don't think we would have gotten world record. But yeah, we're going through, we're just hitting rocks. We're hoping to get level 1 mining. You'll notice I'm going for the copper nodes. So the copper nodes really important. They're going to help you get to that level 1. But also we're going to be using all the copper we're picking up today tomorrow in the mine. So this is a 2-day run, and by doing that we'll be able to craft bombs from floors 40 to 50 when those rocks take more than 1 hit. So essentially you don't really want to do that in those levels. So right now we're just kind of going through. We're keeping an eye on our energy. We want to make sure that we exhaust on a floor that's on a multiple of 5. But right now I'm just kind of evaluating and seeing if it's worthwhile continuing or not. I do have a little bit of food, so we can take that in consideration as well, but you will notice as you're watching this, I don't necessarily go for the food right away because I want to conserve as much of my energy as possible and save that food for the next day if I can. But it's all relying on how the ladder luck falls, and also how we manage to keep our energy versus finding ladders through monsters. So typically if you don't have a club, you want to go for those 1-hit grubs. There's always a chance that you will find a ladder underneath them, so they're usually worthwhile going for it. You want to avoid the slimes though, usually, unless you have a weapon. In my case, I have a club, so I'm utilizing that quite a bit. When I hit the duggies, sometimes they can drop bombs along with the crabs, so they can drop bombs and also give you a ladder, so they're definitely worth going for if you have a weapon and you know how to use it. Another thing is, during the initial setup we did remix mines. Remix mines is pretty cool because it can give you some items that you might need, like a glow ring is useful in the dark floors from 30 to 40. In our case right now, we're just kind of utilizing our energy. You'll see we're quite exhausted right now, and we're just hoping for things to happen here. And there it is, we got a grub ladder, which is awesome. We don't need that steel small sword, but my energy is quite low. So we're going to just hit a few rocks. I'm going to grab a little bit of extra copper and exhaust on it. And there we go, we're exhausted. So you don't want to run back home because running home is slow. It would take us about a minute to run back home. So you just exhaust. We don't need money in this run anyways. We're going to check the TV again from our bed. We don't need to spend any frames on that, thankfully. We got a star drop day, so we are going to head back to the mines and see how this day 2 goes. Again, looking for any forageables along the way. We're gonna make our way up here. So this is a category that has some luck involved, but once you have that luck, you have to know how to use it. And so you have to be kind of conservative with a lot of things, with food, with bombs, and you kind of just hope that you're gonna get what you're looking for. I've attempted this run much more than 691 times, like my attempt says. I actually lost my splits at some point, so this is... I can easily say we've done this run over 3,000 times in the past 3 years. I've been running this category on and off. It's kind of something you do when you have a little bit of time and you just want to spend it. In my case, I felt like practicing off stream because I felt that my picking skills were getting a little bit better, and I kept seeing the time save in my run. I've been wanting to get a better time at this run for a while. So again, we're just kind of going through here. We're getting pretty lucky with the ladders at the entrance, which is, I think, one of the reasons why this run is going to turn out as good as it's turning out. We just got that ladder off a slime. And here we have a glow ring. I don't think, at this point, I'm thinking, okay, this run isn't too bad. We've got a glow ring, we're getting grub ladders. We're going for the big chunk of the grub ladders because we're optimizing our chance at getting a ladder. You want to make sure you kill a monster on a spot where a ladder could spawn. So that's probably the most important technique we're doing here. Again, we're just kind of making our way through and hoping that it'll go well. I'm looking at my times right now and I'm kind of thinking to myself, we're 2 minutes ahead. This could happen or it could not happen. So it only takes a couple of bad floors to really make the run die. Like I said, we're getting quite lucky. Here I found the ladder, but there's a lot of copper, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab that. We might need that later in the ice levels, so let's pick up this copper. We're gonna go down one more floor. And again, we're getting pretty lucky with the ladders at the entrance, so we're just going for it. Another free ladder. But this is definitely one of those categories you grind and you never expect for anything to happen. So when it does and it catches you off guard, kind of like this run did tonight, you just go with the flow and try to make the best decisions you can and hope for everything to work out, which it kind of did in this case. So again, another entrance ladder there. We're gonna head up a little bit here. I do see there's a little bit of copper. I want to optimize a little bit of time and not look for ladders as much, but I know I want that coal, so let's all go in the same direction. No ladder there. Let's go up, kill this grub. Nothing there either. So then I'm circling back, and the reason I'm doing this is I want to make sure I didn't miss a ladder along the way. And it was at the entrance again. I usually notice there's a little bit of a pattern when we do this, and we're on floor 40 now, so only 10 more floors to go, still a minute ahead. Anything could happen at this point. Alright, hitting more rocks. Hoping maybe for a slime. That wasn't a good spot to kill that on, but that's okay. There was a free ladder right there. Go back up. You'll also notice my screen is super zoomed out at the moment, so I'm actually following a guide by my friend Interpreter. And it's a guide on how to set up a way to zoom out on an NVIDIA graphics card. So very, very good to know. I'll definitely link the video in the comments so you guys can check it out if you're interested in that. If you're not on an NVIDIA graphics card, there are other ways as well, so make sure to check out the Speedrun Discord if you've not done that. I'll link that as well below. So now we are on floor 45, just hit 46. We're eating the snips. Or sorry, not snips. We don't do parsnips, that would be too slow. You'd lose about 1.5 minutes if you were to do the parsnips you get at the beginning of the run. Alright, and we're on... At this point, I'm kind of thinking this might actually happen. We have about 3 bombs left, so I'm just kind of going with the flow. That was probably unnecessary walking, but here we are. So I'm still seeing time save in this run. If anyone wants to grind it, I'm sure you could figure it out. But this record has been on the board for about 3 years now. It's set by Sweetchikorita, another friend of mine, actually the reason I even mine, and there's time. So there you go. Mine's 50 world record, new world record. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'm super excited for more people to try this run. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out my A to Z series. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment on this video. Thanks for watching.